What's going on, y'all? Taylor here with y'all 106.7 in the Red Wing Shoes studio. Today we have a very special guest, the beautiful singer, songwriter, rock star, Miss Hannah Dasher.
Lord, who's that?
Looking at you, girl. How we feeling?
Woo. Well, Wilson whipped my butt today, but I'm good. I just had some chocolate. Don't tell him.
Girl has been killing it in the gym. We were just talking about that. You said you work out like 3 days a week or twice a week with a trainer?
2 to 3, depending on how I'm feeling. But on the road, it's really hard. But I'm fixing to step it up some. It's holiday season, girl.
How do you find time to work out on the road? You just make a gym out of wherever you are?
I obligate myself to a live and tell my followers, hey, join me at such and such a time. And then I post it so that I can. Now I have to because I can't. So
hold you accountable.
Then I go to the go to the gym, and then we go live together, and we motivate one another through it, and it's been helping.
That's so exciting.
And I don't drink alcohol, believe it or not. I'm not
at all.
I will, yes. I mean, I enjoyed. I don't know. I'd rather have a flat tummy.
Mm-hmm. Did you ever really drink before that? Like, was it hard to give up alcohol?
Well, I went to the University of Georgia. You know, I partied hard. I've had my fill.
You've been there, done that.
Yes. I mean, I like a drink every now and then, but I don't have to have it.
Yeah, you can do a little vodka water every now and then. It's low calorie.
Yeah, sure.
Well, you look amazing.
Well, you do.
Speaking of food, I just want to talk about Stand By Your Pan real quick while we are talking about food, because that's such a awesome series that you do on social media. Stand by your pan. Do it for me.
Right. Stand by your pan. Bless it. It's a nod to Tammy Wynette and the women that I love, and yes, my little retro kitchen that is my own. People are like, is that a movie studio? I'm like, no, that's my house, but it's just all the stuff nobody wanted in the family, all the avocado green harvest gold stuff, and
everybody loves it. It reminds them something nostalgic, like their grandmama's kitchen or something.
Yeah, salt, pepper, sugar. You know what I'm talking about? Yes. Well, I love soul food, and you and I were just talking about it because I know you're a Mississippi girl and you cook good soul food too. And I have to meal prep and eat really healthy during the week, but it's a lifestyle, so I do find ways to. Okay, what are some substitutions I can make that I'm not like adding a little broth to the pan instead of a lot of animal fat? If I want to have, a dish during the week, I just try to I cut corners where I can, and without sacrificing flavor.
Yeah, I love that. Spoken like a true Southern girl. We just interviewed Rachel Parton not too long ago, Dolly's sister, about their new cookbook. Yeah.
Lord, they sent me one. There's 4 recipes for mashed potatoes in it.
Have you tried any of them yet? I know, there's so many.
Lord,
they had like what is it called, a dirt road martini or something. I'm like, that looks pretty good. But they said that the benefit of that cookbook is that, like, you will have time to sit down and eat with your family, because I feel like that's a huge part of cooking, is that you're slaving in the kitchen all day and then you don't get time to enjoy it. So I'm sure you'll be cooking up this holiday season.
I don't have a family because I feel like I'm slaving in the kitchen when I'm not running the roads playing rock and roll shows. So I'm never out in public.
Yeah,
other than maybe church when I can make.
When you have time to go out and eat in Nashville, where are you going?
Ooh, Sperry's. Bell Mead. They're consistent. They're great. I love that bean salad on the salad bar. Yeah, they're great. But I like trying new places too. I mean, I like Asian fusion and pork bulgogi and things like that. So Treehouse,
Sperry's is great. Speaking of new places, Chiefs on Broadway, Neon Steeple.
Oh,
you're playing a show there November 9th.
Yes.
But what's interesting is you're recording an album live.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Wanted, the live album. Well, I've got a new song coming the end of this month. It's called Wanted. The opening line of the song is I Don't Want to Be an Outlaw, and that's the name of the tour that I'm on this year. And for years I've been told you're too country for country, you're too rock and roll for country. Highway XM was like, well, you're too outlaw for the highway, and Outlaw Radio was like, well, you're a little too commercial for outlaw. Anyway, so I wrote this song. I've just been paving my own lane, for 13 years here in town now. Dang. But yeah, the song's called Wanted. And so it comes out the end of the month. And the live album is just to showcase how great the band is. There's a certain sound that you get when you go into a Nashville studio, and no matter where you go, it's going to have that slick, I've never had the drummer that I wanted on my session. And I travel with a black rhythm section, black gospel trained, if you will, and they can sing their asses off. Can I say that on the radio?
Yeah, you can say whatever you want.
So you get pedal steel guitar, you get rock and roll guitars, but it's just a lot greasier, groovier pocket. And to see me live is to get it, and I just want to capture that and give it to my fans and to those who will listen.
I mean, your live shows are incredible. Like you're an incredible musician on your own. And I feel like a lot of singers these days, you know, they might write, they might sing, but nobody can shred on the guitar like you can. Who taught you how to play like that?
No, I don't really shred. I'm an entertainer. You know, what couldn't Barbara Mandrell play a song on every instrument, right? I'm not quite like that. But as my philosophy is, if you're going to hold one, do something with it. And so I'm a big fan of rock and roll. Leonard Skinner is one of my favorite bands of all time. And Darren Johnston, who is the lead singer of a band called the Cadillac Three, they're an incredible band live. Please go see them. They are insanely talented. But he gifted me my first electric guitar and my Telecaster. We had written some songs together, and he's like, "You got the chops. You should be playing this." And I didn't know girls played the guitar, hell, until I saw Bonnie Raitt on a YouTube video. I'm like, oh my gosh, she's playing slide. Well, why don't I get one? Why don't I just? So I just taught myself. We got snowed in up here one year, my first year here, we got snowed in, and it forced me to take the time to woodshed. And so I just started teaching myself here and there. And again, I'm not a Tom Bukovac, but you know, I fake it. I get by and I play a few solos live, and it seems to do the job.
It's incredible. Who did you grow up listening to? Like Skinner, like you said? And
Yes. When I got into boys, I got into like classic rock like ZZ and Skinner, and I love that AC/DC and all that as much as I love country music. Alan Jackson was my first love, and Elvis too. God, I love Elvis. But as far as fashion goes, but Alan Jackson as a songwriter really inspired me, and I'd kind of given up on country music in college until Eric Church came out. And I was like, whoa, he's from, North Carolina along the East Coast. We have a certain dialect, and I could tell in his lyrics, he wrote like he talked, and he sounded kind of like me. And I was really connected with him and those talented writers on that record and Sinners Like Me album. And so Eric Church is a very big influence of mine. So I'm tickled that he's, that they've got me on that select few list that come through and play the Neon Steeple. I know Ray Wiley's come through. He's a buddy. He's a hoot. He gave me one of my dream guitar pedals actually several months ago, or last year. I was so tickled. So you'll get to hear that pedal on the record.
That's great. Something that you have in common with Eric and like the Eric Church, Keith Urban, your authenticity. Like their music that they continue to make evolves with them, but they stay true to who they are as an artist as well. And I'm just obsessed with your music. I wrote it all down because I don't want to mess anything up. So you've had the half album, and then you had the other damn half.
Yes.
But I write down my favorite ones. That Thing You Like, Crying All the Way to the Bank.
Oh.
Shoes, You're Gonna Love Me,
girl.
Redneck Ass, I'm Gonna Whip Your Redneck Ass.
Yes.
I just love, like I said, the authenticity, but also the storytelling of your music.
Well, I mean, we were mentioning my influences. Like Tom Petty is another big influence, and he was such a chameleon and stayed so relevant. It was obviously it was his voice, but it is very influential on me in that way. And then and Hank Williams Jr. as well too. I think he gets a bad rap for whatever reasons, but he is a multi-instrumentalist. But he merged rock and roll and country music and inspired artists like Travis Tritt, and me, Blackberry Smoke, things like that. And that's really what makes me tick. I want to work out to it. If I can't work out to it, I'm really going to change the channel.
Yeah.
Unless I'm praising the Lord and I need to get real. And then you have songs like Ugly Houses that kind of reveal a vulnerable side too. But my faith is very much part of what I do. And, but if, you need to get back at somebody, if you will. I don't condone that, but if you want to rip somebody's redneck ass, we've got songs for that too.
Spoken like a true Southern woman, that empowerment. I mean, I just love, like, you feel empowered listening to your music.
That means
so you
a
might
lot.
not even be aware that you're doing that for women, but it's incredible. And it goes beyond the lyrics. You're so creative with your marketing or like the creative visual part of the song. How do you get all these ideas for content?
I've had to be. I say a one-man team. I have a sweet assistant that busts her butt for me. And I've got friends that help me along the way, but I've never had management to really lead the charge. And not that I don't want management, it's just got to be the right fit, But I mean, I'm an entertainer to the core, whether I'm in the kitchen, whether I'm on the stage, on a camera. And so my goal is or as a songwriter, my goal is to capture you within the first, 10 seconds of that lyric or that video. And so that's always the goal when I'm coming up with content. So if I'm holding binoculars and spying somebody cheating on me off in the truck shaking back and forth like something's going on.
They're all like little movies. I mean, they're so good.
Bless it. If I had a budget, honey, we would be all over the top. But
I can only imagine because it already looks like you have a budget. Like the quality, the sets, the costumes. It's incredible.
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, I have a great stylist team. Even though we just made the worst dress list for the People's Choice Awards, which is great press, I was honored.
Who makes that list?
A Glam magazine, I believe.
Some loser in a basement, No.
She's probably wearing yoga pants, eating something vegan on her couch, but that's okay. I love people like that too. I hope that girl's okay. I can't remember her name, but I think a lot of fans went after her. I was like, no, y'all, that was good press. Don't go with that.
No, it goes back to that authenticity. I wrote down the words that I would use to describe you.
I love
Authentic, sassy, empowering, confident, fashionista, rock star, also homemaker. But you are the total package. So I'm just such a fan of you. So continue.
I love you. I'm just an old soul like you, Taylor. Like we love that old country music, the old rock and roll. Like, and I've always felt that maybe you feel this too as an old soul. But to carry things forward, so like this pedal steel guitar, handwritten thank you notes, those white plastic salt and pepper shakers from Tupperware, like I've just always felt the need to hang on to certain things and kind of carry that torch forward to make sure that it gets introduced to my peers and to the next generation. And that's all I'm trying to do is just build upon that.
I love that. It's kind of like us here at Y'all with us playing the 80s
exactly.
and the 90s,
That's why we stick to 106.7.
Yeah, and actually our core listeners are 25 to 34, which is crazy. You'd think or even younger. So
what did Billy Gibbons say? It's like you can always tell your generation of music is lacking when your generation is listening to their parents' music.
Yeah.
Or something.
So good. So Hannah, what do you look for in a man? Because like I said, you are the total package girl. What does a man have to do to win your heart?
He's got to be handsome. Mm-hmm. He's got to love Jesus. Mm-hmm. And I'll get in trouble for saying this, but the Lord says write it down. And he wants every detail. So I would say blessed in the bank and blessed in the breeches.
I love that. Blessed in the bank and blessed in the breeches.
I sound terrible, but
no, hey, you got to get specific with that image you're manifesting.
Goodness, I mean, the majority of my friends all my guy friends are gay up here, Lord. When you have poofy hair and fun accessories, they
Is it hard to date being on the road? And
it is. Well, a lot of folks think I'm dating the cornbread cowboy. Which, a dear friend of mine, I love him to pieces, but no, that's really an entertaining content series.
He's hilarious too. Another TikTok sensation.
But my last one was like a dang Wrangler model, most handsome boy I've ever seen, but very jealous of cornbread. I couldn't put that together.
Oh, wow.
It just takes somebody special. I mean, I'm a handful and, but I just, the older I get, the more my faith means to me. And I really want somebody that can connect with me in that way too. I think at the end of the day, that's the most important.
We're speaking that into existence. So when we're looking at career goals, we've already opened up for Leonard Skinner, Blackberry Smoke. I mean, you've done incredible things, but what are some goals that you have in maybe the next 5 years of your career?
I would like to play bigger rooms. I'm playing small clubs right now, and some 500 size every now, here and there, but I'd like to graduate to that within the next year. I'd like to have a best-selling cookbook at some point in the next, I'd say 2026. Lord willing. And I'd love to be in a Western, honestly, but TV, I would like to see TV in my future. I mean, I get approached for things, but it's got to be the right fit, obviously. And so, I think there's some TV. I want to do a love scene with probably like Scott Eastwood. Y'all seen him?
Oh my God, I love Scott Eastwood. He is one of my celebrity crushes.
Why is he single?
Why is he so cute?
He may not be blessed everywhere we were asking.
He might not be in the britches. Maybe not. Got something off there.
Lord.
That is so great. Do you feel like people say that you remind them of Dolly Parton in the best way? Because of her confidence.
A little bit. I think she's a hell of a businesswoman.
Absolutely.
I found Dolly through Burt Reynolds because I was such a Smokey and the Bandit fan, and I was flipping there was a rerun of Best Little Whorehouse in Texas on the TV, and I was like, ooh, who is that? His mama will tell you I was, as a little girl, like, I was adamant about the cotton panties that used to come in the package that had Cinderella or Little Mermaid. No, I did not want that. I wanted satin with lace. I wanted matching like nightgowns. I've always been into that. And then I saw Best Little Whorehouse, and boom, there that was in the adult gaudy way. And I don't know. I was just taken by that and the feathers and the whatever. And then she had fringe and tight fitting outfits.
Yeah.
She was chunky like me. You know, back when Dolly was chunky. And so I was just taken by that. And it inspired me as far as fashion goes.
And her in the 9 to 5 movie, getting you into some Westerns, you know.
Bless. Oh, Lord, yeah.
Maybe you'll write the title track for your movie that you're going to be in.
Honey, you never know. You never know. Well, it could be just a fun series. SNL, I would love to be a guest on SNL.
You'd be great at that.
It'd be fun. I'm a goofball.
We love it. We're so excited for this new live album at Chiefs on Broadway, November 9th. You can still get tickets at chiefsonbroadway.com.
Yes, eat and greets are sold out, but we are adding a few more tickets. So those will go up today.
Okay, awesome. And did we miss anything that you want our listeners to know?
The eat and greet, I probably need to mention that.
Okay.
A little more. So I've never done this before at a show, but because of my TikTok series, I'm doing an eat and greet. So fans will get there maybe a few hours early, and I will prepare one of my viral Thanksgiving dishes, and we'll have a couple things to go along with it, and I'll teach them how to make. Can I tell them? I'm going to make my dressing. I'll do a good dressing anyhow, and you'll get to eat it and hang out with me, and we'll do a live Q&A, and yeah.
Before the show?
Before the show.
Oh, wow. It's a whole experience.
Yes. So I'm opening up for a few more tickets. They said it already sold out, but I want to add a few more people because I didn't really get to advertise it. So
yeah, and I want to try this dressing.
Girl, I got you. Please. You're already on the list.
Hannah Dasher, everybody. Follow her on Instagram at Hannah Dasher. Is that you on TikTok as well?
Yep.
Is that your handle?
It's Hannah Damn Dasher.
Hannah Damn Dasher. H to the damn to the D. I love it. Thanks for hanging out with us today, Hannah.